What is poppin' YouTube? Back again with another video. You may have already drafted your redraft team, or you may be in the middle of your drafts, but it's always important to be looking at the end of your bench and figuring out how can I improve this roster. And so today we're going to be talking about 4 mustache players to potentially be considering heading into week 1, just currently based on their situation. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's go. So the first player you must be stashing right now is Raheem Mostert. Now, I know a few of you are going to be saying, Caleb, Raheem Mostert's not a stash. I know he's probably going to be the RB1 for the Miami Dolphins. Well, the thing is, a lot of your league mates don't know that. And right now he's going off as the RB45 on Underdog. I've been seeing Raheem Mostert fall into the RB50. And the thing we need to understand with Raheem Mostert, you're looking at the Miami Dolphins backfield. People love Devon Achane. They love how cheap Jeff Wilson is. Raheem Mostert was getting the first team work in the preseason. We've seen very solid fantasy football production. We've seen him average 11, 12 fantasy points per game. And when you're able to get him that late, RB45, we're talking about a guy that can absolutely help you win some fantasy football weeks, which isn't always possible when you're drafting this late in drafts. So I love Raheem Mostert as my first mustache player at the end of my bench if he's on waivers. If he's already on a team, so sorry about you. This wasn't a deep enough one. My second mustache player, and this is going to be a deeper stash for all of you, that's going to be very much so available, is going to be my man Rico Dowdle for the Dallas Cowboys, RB2. We love some Malik Davis here earlier this offseason. Well, Malik Davis, you weren't good enough to make the team. Cut back to the practice squad. Rico Dowdle is the RB2. Now, I know what you're saying. Caleb, Deuce Vaughn looks super good in the preseason. He's probably going to be nipping at the heels of Rico. Well, potentially. But we have not seen an absolute bell cow running back since Zeke back in 2016, 2017. Last few seasons, Tony Pollard and Zeke Elliott have been splitting. So even if Tony Pollard, for some reason, jumps from having the 50 to 55% usage rate that he's had the last few seasons to now all of a sudden jumping up to 75, there's still going to be about 25% of this offense in the running back department that can be taken care of. And I think my man Rico has the potential to do it. Now, he was undrafted out of South Carolina. He's 25 years old, 4.54 burst, really compares to Trey Edmonds. So he's more of a plotter, not necessarily a fast, explosive guy. And as much as Deuce Vaughn's the nice, explosive guy, we kind of like this guy back here because he screams touchdown upside. And if Rico can just nab a few touchdowns and something happens to Tony Pollard, of course Deuce Vaughn's going to get on the field in that instance. But Rico, to me, is a late round dart throw. So if you're playing in a deeper redraft league, you need some RB depth and the bench spot. I am targeting Rico. And so let me know what you think of Rico down below in the comments. My third mustache player right now is Marvin Mims for the Denver Broncos. Marvin Mims gets drafted in the second round. You're thinking to yourself, he wasn't really that highly rated of a prospect. Honestly, I thought he was going to be like a 3rd or 4th round pick. So for him to go in the second round, super great for him. But what happens is Jerry Jeudy now gets out with an injury. And we're talking about an offense that needs receiving weapons. Of course, we love 3-legged Greg Dulcich. Of course, Cortland Sutton is still in the mix. And we don't even know if Russ is going to be able to cook. But I love me some Marvin Mims in 2023 fantasy football. So I'm willing to take a late round darts though. I mean, when you're talking these deeper redraft leagues, you're going to need PPR receiving points. And Marvin Mims was an absolute deep threat at Oklahoma. We will see exactly what happens when we add him into this offense, but he had a 96.2% athleticism score according to Player Profiler, 4.38 40 times, so he's an absolute burner. Can he burn? We've seen a guy similar to him thrive with Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, so we're going to see if that's going to happen here in 2023 fantasy football. My fourth and final mustache player that could potentially provide some value at the end of the bench is going to be Alec Pierce. Now, if we look at 2 preseason games ago, when Anthony Richardson threw the ball downfield to Alec Pierce wasn't able to come down with it, but it was a super nice highlight play that shows the potential and the trust that A-Rich has in Alec Pierce. Now, Alec Pierce going all the way back to his Cincinnati days, absolute elite level slot wide receiver, great route runner, drafted in the second round last season. And now the quarterback play wasn't great. We were talking about Alec Pierce as a sleeper, and it just didn't happen. No one was a sleeper on the Colts offense because the Colts offense was sleeping. And so now we add in Alec Pierce with A-Rich, and we're going to be excited. I mean, you still have Michael Pittman Jr. We don't know what's happening with JT, but they're going to have to throw the ball. As much Colts fans as you may say that Anthony Richardson is going to help you guys are still going to be losing a lot of games. You're going to be coming from behind. If you're coming from behind, you're going to have to throw the ball a lot more, and throwing the ball a lot more to your highly drafted second round pick from last season is going to be in the card. So I do like some Alec Pierce. Right now, wide receiver 63 on Underdog. Currently going off the board as wide receiver 63. So that is enough for me to be taking some of these late shots. And so maybe you could wait until week 1 to pick up Alec Pierce, depending on what happens on your roster. But I would be targeting these guys right now. If you have a spot, depending if you have one spot available, think of these 4 guys. Think about what your roster needs to help you try to go out and win this fantasy football championship. That is our goal here on the channel. So if you want to be a part of it, we're trying to grind to 500 subs. We want to grow this community. We're going to be providing the best content and fantasy football advice all season long. So appreciate you guys for tuning in here today, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.